While everyone is still celebrating better AI clips, something much bigger may have just happened. Rumors around Seedance 3.0 suggest that AI video generation may have crossed a structural threshold, not just improving quality but extending coherence across time. According to multiple sources close to the project, Seedance 3.0 can generate 10 to 18 minutes of continuous cinematic video in a single pass. Not stitched fragments, not loosely connected shots, but sustained narrative structure with consistent characters, evolving emotional arcs, and multi-act storytelling. If that claim is even partially true, this isn't a product update. It's an inflection point on the road to AGI. The real breakthrough isn't length, it's continuity. Up until now, AI video systems behaved like incredibly talented interns, brilliant in short bursts, but unstable over longer sequences. 15 seconds looked impressive. 30 seconds felt cinematic. But beyond that, identity drifted, scene logic collapsed, and memory broke down. What Seedance 3.0 allegedly introduces is something called a narrative memory chain, an architecture designed to preserve character identity, plot progression, motivations, and scene consistency across extended timelines.
Just calm down.
That's not just better rendering, that's temporal reasoning. And temporal coherence is one of the missing pillars between narrow generative systems and more general intelligence. Another user wrote that short videos are one thing, but 18 minutes could represent a serious threat to the artistic realm. And that fear makes sense. Once an AI can sustain narrative intent over time, it stops being a clip generator and starts simulating creative direction. Then came the second shockwave. Compute costs are reportedly 1/8 of Seedance 2.0. That immediately triggered skepticism. Some assumed quality must drop if cost drops that dramatically. But others pointed out that the breakthrough may not be brute force efficiency, it may be architectural redesign. Instead of generating massive chunks of frames simultaneously, which requires enormous VRAM and parallel compute, the new system may stream generations sequentially while maintaining a high-level narrative state. In other words, fewer frames processed at once, but persistent story memory guiding them all. That distinction matters, because on the road to AGI, efficiency determines scalability, and scalability determines inevitability. The audio claims add another layer. Seedance 3.0 allegedly supports native multilingual dialogue generation with synchronized lip movement and emotionally adaptive voice patterns, including breathing, laughter, and subtle tonal shifts. That implies deeper cross-modal integration between vision, language, and emotional modeling. When separate modalities begin to unify inside a single generative loop, you're not just improving output quality, you're increasing systemic coherence. One commenter joked about finally making a new season of a canceled show. Another predicted fans would start rewriting failed finales. But behind the humor lies something structurally important. Narrative authority begins to decentralize. When AI can maintain consistent characters and voices across extended timeframes, intellectual property becomes fluid. Story worlds become remixable. Historically, democratization of tools always creates chaos before it creates classics. One user compared this moment to the invention of the 8mm camera, which produced mountains of terrible home movies, but eventually empowered a generation of filmmakers. That comparison may be accurate. But there's a key difference. The 8mm camera didn't automate direction. Seedance 3.0 reportedly supports storyboard input, real-time shot commands, cinematic presets, and color grading execution. If the system understands instructions like wide-angle dolly track as the hero rises from ruins, and translates that into visually coherent execution, it demonstrates semantic grounding in cinematic language. And semantic grounding across domains is another AGI-adjacent signal. The geopolitical undertone in the discussion is also revealing. Some speculate that American companies may already have similar capabilities, but hesitate to release them due to economic disruption. Others dismiss that as unrealistic, arguing that market forces will always outrun caution. There are also concerns about censorship, about which countries will limit realism, and about who controls access to high-fidelity synthetic media. Because whoever controls realistic AI video controls narrative power, and narrative power shapes perception at scale. Perhaps the most revealing comment in the thread wasn't excited or skeptical. It was resigned. Inevitable. Everything you can imagine will happen. Just breathe and enjoy life while it lasts. That sentence doesn't sound like hype. It sounds like someone recognizing trajectory. On the road to AGI, progress rarely announces itself as a revolution. It arrives disguised as incremental improvements. Longer videos, cheaper compute, better lip sync, stronger continuity. Until suddenly, you realize the system now maintains identity, intention, and multimodal integration across time. And those aren't traits of a toy. They are traits of a system beginning to simulate structured cognition. If Seedance 3.0 truly sustains coherent narrative across 18 minutes, while reducing cost and integrating vision, language, emotion, and cinematic control, then this isn't just about filmmaking. It's about scalable world simulation. The feature film era of AI is not the destination. It's a milestone. And if coherence over time is being solved, the only remaining variable is speed.